What's good, guys? Welcome to the video. Given the current status of the Call of Duty community in regards to Call of Duty World War II, I thought it was time to start looking to the future and looking to where Call of Duty can grow for its next title. Something that really got me thinking was playing Battlefield 1, a game that, although had a rocky start, it really has developed into a magnificent game. I went back recently and played a few, and there's just so many facets of the game that are absolutely outstanding, and that really got me thinking, what are some things that the Battlefield 1 can teach Call of Duty? So, today's video, we're going to look at a few things that Battlefield 1 has done incredibly well and I think Call of Duty can learn from. So to start it off, I want to talk about Battlefield 1's approach to new weapons that they add to the game. They added free ones and DLC ones, all of which required completion of a weapon assignment for each individual gun. So for example, in order to unlock the factory variant of the General Loo rifle, you needed to get 40 kills with the Mondragoon and perform 30 squad revives. So the requirements for each gun do vary, and they're not overly difficult, but they expose players to play styles that they may not have tried before, as it's outside of their comfort zone. So I think it really opens them to becoming better players in the long run. So in comparison to that new weapon system, if we have a look at World War II, it simply relies on the tried and true slot machine or challenge that asks you to play like 50 games. Like, I remember having to grind through 50 games just to get the Sten, and it just did not feel rewarding, or it just came across super boring. So I don't know why they chose that system. It's either that or you have to wait and hope to get it out of a supply drop like in a lot of the previous Call of Duties. How hard would it be to set a challenge to unlock the Sten, for example, with requirements like get 50 kills with the WAF 28, get 25 silencer kills, or get 50 silencer kills with X basic training equipped? The resistance would have been even easier. Get X amount of kills with X gun using the resistance division. Super easy, nothing exceedingly difficult, yet rewarding, while offering a certain change of pace that World War II could drastically use. So in the next Call of Duty, if they implement new weapons as DLC, which I dare say they will, I hope they take a page from Battlefield 1 and add some sort of weapon assignment or challenge to unlock these. Next is server issues, netcode, connectivity, whatever you want to call it. Let's face it, Call of Duty World War II has not met expectations. For 2018 or 2017 when it dropped, it had very subpar internet connection. The servers just didn't work for the first week for a lot of people, and I still find now that the hit registration or hit detection is very, very inconsistent. Like, I play Battlefield 1 and that's on servers, and apparently World War II is on servers, but 9 times out of 10 when I lose a gunfight on Battlefield, I know that's because I did something wrong. I pushed forward too aggressively, or I'm just bad at the game. Whereas in World War II, a lot of the time I'll start shooting and a lot of my bullets just seem to not register, and it's very inconsistent. It's very frustrating. It takes the fun out of the game, and that's something that I think Call of Duty really need to work on. A lot of the time when I'm playing still in World War II, I feel like I am playing on peer-to-peer connection. It still feels the exact same connection as I had in Black Ops 1 back in 2010. So I think that's something they really need to amp up. They need to amp their servers up. They need to have minimum of 30 hertz tick rate for console and 60 plus for PC. That's something that Battlefield has already had for the last 3 years, and I think it's something Call of Duty really needs to catch up with. Secondly, on the server subject, server browsers. Server browsers are my favorite part of Battlefield titles on console. I know it's not too out of the ordinary on PC to have server browsers, but for a console game to have server browsers is so refreshing, and it's so good to be able to just go in, find where the games are, find the best connection. It's all based on connection, which I know is what they've said is called World War II's deal, is it's all based on connection, but I can tell you right now, it is not based on connection. The last week since Demolition has been out, I've been trying to find games, and it always puts me in red games after I've had a really, really good game. Like, I might drop 45 and 5 or something, and then the next game I'll only be able to find red servers for the next 15 to 20 minutes. I'll just keep backing out, joining in, I'll only find red. It's skill-based matchmaking to a certain degree, and I think that is why they haven't put server browsers in. I know that sounds like a bit of a conspiracy, but I feel like that would just nullify their skill-based matchmaking, and that's why they haven't had server browsers. Nonetheless, it's something I really think that would benefit the franchise, and I know a lot of people will say, you know, it causes unbalanced teams, but I've never really seen more blowouts in Battlefield 1 than on Call of Duty. Like, if anything, skill-based matchmaking and everything like that, I've always found cause way more blowouts because they just have bad team balancing regardless. So I think it's yeah, it doesn't really make a difference in my opinion. What it does make a difference on servers is you just have a complete random mix of people, and it feels super, not over the top competitive. It just feels like the casual old days of first person shooters. You jump on, you don't know what you're going to get. You could get a whole bunch of people that play every single day. You could get a whole bunch of like rookies, so you never know what you're going to get, and that's a really good feeling. Like it's pretty casual and it keeps you coming back, unlike World War II, where I just feel like I'm always need to be on my toes. I need to be drinking Mountain Dew and chewing on Doritos and just sweating super hard with the most MLG type classes, and I don't want to run that. I like having class versatility and being able to do whatever I want on the game, and that's just something you can't do due to these like matchmaking decisions that Call of Duty have made. So I know that's a little bit off the topic of servers, but all in all it does come back to servers and matchmaking and server browsing and stuff like that, and that's something that I really think Call of Duty needs to take on board from the Battlefield series. Which brings me to my next point, and that is gun balance. Now I know Battlefield 1 is no stranger to OP guns, however the devs took community feedback and implemented changes adequately and very quickly, and are always continuing to do so, as they've just implemented a completely new overhaul called Time to Kill 2.0, which has changed all the weapons, and they're looking into changes already on how they can balance the game further. This is something that World War II has not done, aside from minor nerfs to the bar and STG and like unnecessary buffs to random guns, and it's just a bit of a mess at this stage. If COD wants to be a major player in the game again, they need to be diligent in their actions in terms of balancing the game and responding to community feedback. There's a lot of times where questions have just gone unanswered for ages. Like you hear nothing back from Sledgehammer Games with this current one, and that's something that really needs to change. And I think if they just take on board being able to admit that they're wrong, that they've made a gun incredibly OP like the bar, they need to be willing and diligent enough to quickly change that so a lot of people don't lose interest. Anyway guys, that's all for now. Let me know what you think. If you have any other suggestions in regards to the topic, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, have a wonderful day.